All right, welcome to Turf Talks by Race Mirror. I think I can say I have the privilege of standing between two of my mentors, Mr. Deepak Rajpal and Mr. Suhail Mohammed. Mr. Deepak Rajpal has been calling races for almost 40 years and 35 years, so I can say 75 years between them that the racing. They're known as the voices of the turf, and we'll talk to Mr. Deepak Rajpal. Mr. Rajpal, you've called 27 Indian derbies. This is the 28th edition you'll be calling. Talk us about the experience of calling an Indian derby.
Well, Yasir, I'll be very frank with you. Calling a race is more important than looking at the group race or a class 5. Every race is equal to me because I basically call races for the racing public. I try to build up excitement. When you talk about the Indian Derby, there have been so many exciting finishes that we have had. If I have to really pinpoint on a particular race, I would say a derby that I called, which was won by Starsky, won by a nose-beating Ants badge, and I think El Campeador ran third and Pelican ran fourth. That would be the pick of the 27 that I have called till today.
Tell me one thing, what is it that keeps you going? 40 years, almost 40 years you've been calling races. What is your motivation?
Well, I'll be very frank with you. I'm always excited. My battery is charged and thrilled one day before the races are being held where I'm calling. The club has been extremely good to me. They have supported me from the day one. They have motivated me, they have encouraged me, they have supported me. And moreover, after being a freelancer, I have traveled all over the country, all 9 racetracks I have called. There's no such race in the country that I haven't called today. And the best part of this has been the lovely Indian racing crowd. They have given me the maximum support. I'm always excited and always looking forward to go to any center and call races.
All right, we'll get back to you. Mr. Soil, you've been calling races for 35 years. You started off calling races which were the Gymkhana. Talk to us about that experience and how did you get into commentating?
Well, I was an announcer at the Hyderabad Race Club, and the then commentator, Mr. Ali Khusro Jung, he spotted me and he came to the announcer's box and he said, "After you finish your announcement, come and stand beside me." So 2 years he made me to stand beside me, taught me how to catch up with the colors, how to memorize colors. And one fine day, the then secretary of Hyderabad Race Club, Mr. N. called me and said, "You're doing the race." So I was trembling that day. He came behind, patted, he said, "Finish the race and come down." That was 1988 that I started doing the race. There was a race called monsoon races, and there were two horses which finished close, Carl Lewis and Vijay Dhara, and then very confidently picked up the winner and was praying to Lord Almighty to declare whichever I've called should be the winner. And to my luck, Carl Lewis won by a whisker. And that is the time I was told, when you encounter these kind of close finishes, never try to be the judge. And since then, I've been being very safe and very cautious in picking up the winner. Well, that's how I started. I had the support of Mr. N. Reddy, Mr. Ali Khusrojang, followed by Colonel Reddy, Dr. Mushtaq Mirza, who've been the secretaries of the Hyderabad Race Club. And of course, we had seniors like Mr. Deepak Rajpal, Mr. Harish, Mr. Cyrus Madan, whom we used to look forward to and try to emulate what they used to say, pick up a few phrases, learn from them, because it's always better to look up to your mentors, to your seniors, do your commentary, come out and watch and correct yourself where you have called wrong, what could have been better. And as Mr. Deepak said, I would also concur with him that it is the racing public and your mentors and your colleagues and the seniors who motivate you to do better and better year after year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deepak. If there is something that you would like to tell our younger generation, we'd love to hear in terms of how should we better ourselves as commentator, and if there's somebody who wants to be a commentator, what is that they need to do to pick up this art?
Every single person, as he starts growing, completing his education, he has a aim or a goal in life. In any field, you need to be dedicated, you need to be ambitious, you need to put in a lot of sincerity and hard work, which never goes unrewarded. Now, talking about horse racing, there is no retake in this. We have to remember that. You cannot give a pause. The flow has to be there. What is the job of a commentator, a track announcer? To say what we see. One has to stick to that basic till he acquires that knowledge and experience, then add on more words and adjectives into the racing to build up more excitement. But initially, a person has to be dedicated and say what one sees.
All right, same question to you, Mr. Suhail. What should
Nothing much I could add on to what Mr. Deepak said. I fully concur with him. That is what it is. Besides that, a person should have a penchant of doing things. As he rightly says, you develop the art first. Say what you see without adding any adjectives. Once you master the art, then you can add on. First and foremost, you have to have penchant to do something. What you get back, that's the secondary issue. But what you want to do for the sport is very important.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for talking to us, and wishing you all the very best, and hope we continue to hear your voices for many, many more years to come.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed, hoping that it does really happen. I've caught up with the age, I've become a senior citizen. Somewhere down the line, every person has to take up a retirement sometime or the other. I'm looking forward for that.
And I'd like to add on to that. People fail, humans fail, institution never. You are one of the institutions who would impart a lot of knowledge to youngsters and be their guiding light for all the youngsters.
I would love to do so.
Thank you so much, guys, and hope you enjoyed this content. Stay tuned and do subscribe to Race Mirror. We'll come back with more action from the Indian Derby and RWIPC. Thank you, guys.